Oh look, it's baby Leia and baby Luke. Aren't they the cutest? Hello, welcome to Star Wars Obsessed Watching. I'm Richard, and on this episode, I'll be talking about number 7 on my list of Star Wars movies from worst to greatest. Number 7 is Revenge of the Sith. This is when the prequel trilogy actually got better for me. I thought that the story was deeper, the emotional scenes between Anakin and Padme were real, and they were very well done. First half of the movie is pretty light and kind of fun with a lot of jokes and quips, but then it starts getting darker and darker. It's full on into space fantasy the way I like it, the way the Star Wars is supposed to be. This is a much better movie in regards of the prequel trilogy. Remember, this is only my opinion. If you don't agree with my opinion, that's great. And if you choose to write your opinion in the comments below, let's keep it civil. Okay, the scroll says heroes on both sides. Both sides of what? Both sides, the dark side and the light side? What have they done on the dark side that's heroic? Okay, very cool battle scene. Lots of fun.
Did you press the stop button? No, did you? No.
Peripheral vision.
Get help, you're no match for him. He's a Sith Lord.
So the Sith is stronger than a Jedi. So stronger than the strongest Jedi, stronger than 2 Jedi. What is the message we're getting from this? That platform would have totally maimed Obi-Wan. Just look how it lands on him. And they're doing the same thing where they had 2 Jedi battle 1 Sith. And again, they're both struggling. The Sith is stronger than Jedi? So Palpatine is telling Anakin to kill Dooku, but why should Anakin follow the orders of a politician? Shouldn't he be following what his master says? And let's say Palpatine is using the Force to influence Anakin to do this. Wouldn't Anakin sense that? And if Anakin can't sense it because Palpatine is blocking, wouldn't he sense it's being blocked? I just don't understand why Palpatine has such an influence over Anakin when Palpatine is not even a Jedi. Well, as far as Anakin knows, he's not even a Jedi. He doesn't even follow the Force or anything, knows anything about the Force. So why would he listen to a politician?
Wait a minute. How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
You're welcome.
We lost something.
That's funny too.
Another happy landing.
Another funny line. See? They can have a lot of fun with these Star Wars movies. All right, changing the swipe. Woo!
You're so beautiful. From the heavens so in love. No. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
Blah, blah, blah. Cheesy love words. All right, getting creative with the transition. This conversation between Padme and Anakin about his dream, I like this. It's emotional. It seems real. The acting is great.
Death is a natural part of life. Let go of everything you fear to lose. The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
Yoda's words are pretty harsh. So what they're basically saying, what he is saying, and I'm sure this is what the Jedi Council is saying, is that you cannot have a relationship with anybody. You cannot be in a loving, committed relationship if you want to be a Jedi, because if you're in this loving, committed relationship with this person that you love so dearly, the fear of losing that person will create jealousy, and then you'll do whatever you can to not lose this person, and it will end up to the dark side. Why does the message of love have to be bad? Because that's basically what they're promoting. The Jedi's promoting. Loving somebody will lead you to the dark side. That if this person dies, then you just need to accept it, because death is death.
Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not.
Because doing that will lead you to the dark side. It's no wonder that Anakin kept getting angry and bitter because he loved somebody so dearly. And they're basically telling him that you cannot love anybody. You cannot have a committed relationship if you want to be a full-on Jedi, a master Jedi, because if you do, then that means that you will end up going to the dark side. So this is where the balance should be, is that they should promote the ability to take this emotion, this love, this fear of loss, and be able to control it. So you're not so far, moving to the dark side. Maybe the Jedi should have said, okay, we will have committed relationships, but we will train our Jedi to deal with these emotions in a positive way. Deal with the fact that we might lose somebody.
I hope you trust me, Anakin.
Why should Anakin have any reason to trust Palpatine? Have we seen any kind of deep relationship that Anakin has with Palpatine? I don't think so. Whereas he's had a deeper relationship with Obi-Wan, especially since childhood, and they've been on adventures together. Why would Anakin trust Palpatine? And I'm going to say this again. If Palpatine is using the Force, or the dark side of the Force, to influence Anakin, why wouldn't Anakin sense that?
Against a mentor.
A mentor for what? Isn't a Jedi Master supposed to be Anakin's mentor? That's where he learns to be a full-on Jedi, right?
Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force?
So destroying the Sith brings balance to the Force. So what the Jedi is saying, that the balance is that there's only Jedi, no Sith. So maybe the balance should be that the two go together, like the Sith and the Jedi go together, and they're able to understand each other. Maybe the balance is that the Jedi are not so emotionless, and the Sith are not so emotional, that there's a balance where they're able to have emotions and control that emotion, like a middle ground. That seems like what the balance would be. Maybe not this whole destroy the Sith that they kept talking about. Maybe being able to control your emotions would be the balance. The Tarzan yell, where did they use that before?
You are strong and wise, Anakin, and I am very proud of you. And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be.
Ben gives such positive words to Anakin right here. He clearly cares for Anakin. So it's very frustrating that Anakin would just basically ignore all that and just accept the words from Palpatine, who he has some kind of connection to. I don't know why.
I found a way to save you. I won't lose you, Padme.
Anakin is so fearful of losing Padme that he keeps dreaming about Padme dying, and he's so fearful of her dying that he's going to try and do everything he can to keep her from dying, which could possibly be the reason why she dies is because of his actions. This is my theory, is that he's getting these images pushed into his mind by someone else. Who could that be?
Dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor.
Now Mace Windu feels it.
Learn to know the dark side of the Force, and you will be able to save your wife from certain death.
It's a perfect example of how Palpatine is able to manipulate Anakin by using everything that he wants to hear. Could Palpatine have been pushing these images into Anakin's head? I really love this scene. It's just the two characters looking out the window, and we know what's going on. No words spoken whatsoever. It is amazing, and it's a beautiful scene. The message that the Jedi present is that to love somebody means you move to the dark side. Because Anakin had to hide his relationship with Padme, he's going to be very angry about that and be very bitter about that towards the Jedi, that he has to do this in hiding. So of course he's going to hate the Jedi, but it's the Jedi it's their fault, and they kept pushing this this code, like you can't have a relationship with anyone for fear of death, for fear of loss, because that'll lead to the dark side. Am I thinking too deep about this? Palpatine made quick work of those 2 Jedi, and it's not like he snuck up on them. He clearly telegraphed his attack, so they should have had plenty of time to block. And then the 3rd one, he gets down really fast. So there's those 4 Jedi against the 1 Sith Lord. So the dark side is stronger than the light side is basically the message of this movie. The lightning that's coming out of Palpatine's hands are ricocheting off of Mace Windu's lightsaber and going back onto him. Palpatine's the only one doing that. So he's saying, help me, help me. So basically, all he has to do is stop doing it. So stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. But Anakin doesn't see that because he's so dumb. He's like, why doesn't he just say something like, well, why don't you stop throwing the lightning bolts? Then you can stop getting hurt. Why would he think that Padme would be okay with that? Because she's aware of the Sith. Or why would he think that she would be okay with him being with the Sith Lord or with the dark side of the Force? Darth Sidious gives Anakin the title of Darth Vader. Where does Vader come from? Where did he get this name? Why Vader? Where does it come from? He just pulls it out of his ass. Revenge of the Sith has some really great music, especially during this dark, tragic time. Some very atmospheric and moody music, but I can't play it because somebody's listening. What I also don't understand is why he was ordered to kill the younglings. Why wouldn't the Sith just abduct them, take them to some kind of training ground, and have them all convert to the dark side of the Force? Because wouldn't it be better to have more on their side? This is gonna get out. Padme's gonna find out. So does Anakin honestly think that she's gonna be cool with him killing children, younglings? Padme really didn't have a lot to do. In The Phantom Menace, she was all into the action, and in Attack of the Clones, she was all into the action. But here, really nothing much to do, just hang around the house and be pregnant.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
That's a really good line. Lava is very hot. So you have all this hot wind. Space fantasy. I like this scene between Anakin and Padme, and her pain is so real. This is so well done. Choking her. What happened to trying to keep her alive? Trying to keep her safe? Anakin is so dumb. Yoda already had an experience like that with Count Dooku, but he was able to block the lightning bolts and push them back. Why did he not react to Palpatine's lightning bolts? Why did the dark side get the lightning bolts? What's up with that? Why did the Jedi get that kind of cool stuff?
That's not fair.
Cool. The Sith and the Jedi have the ability to levitate things, but they don't have the ability to levitate themselves. Great fight sequences, love the lightsaber sequence and fighting and clashing. The proximity to the lava would have killed them. It's a space fantasies.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil!
Point of view, Anakin, what you're saying is that killing children is good. Oh, come on, man. Don't just leave him there to suffer. Put him out of his misery. See, that was kind of mean of Obi-Wan to do. Just walk away. He's obviously disgusted too, but just walk away and just let him suffer in pain like that. If he truly loved him, he would have killed him. I would have. It actually looked like Palpatine had a bit of tenderness. What?
She's dying.
We don't know why. She has lost the will to live.
I'm wondering if it wasn't that Padme did not have the will to live. Maybe it was Darth Sidious. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. That he was using the dark side of the Force to kill Padme. It seems a bit far-fetched that she just loses the will to live, especially when she says that they're still good in Anakin. Well, if they're still good in Anakin, why didn't she try to bring that goodness back? But no, for some reason she lost the will to live, which I'm thinking is an influence from the dark side of the Force.
Am I thinking too deep about this?
Luke.
What is the significance of these names? These names just come out of the blue. You know what would have been better is if Padme did not give the names. They realize they have to separate these twins, and Bail Organa takes one, and he names, when he takes her to his wife, he names her Leia, or they name her Leia, and they basically, maybe the Bail Organa or the wife says, I want to name her Leia after my mother. Then that would have more significance and make more sense, because if they're adopting a child, wouldn't they prefer a name that had more significance to them than keeping Leia? I mean, they changed the last name, and the same goes for Luke. Why wouldn't they adopt him as well? Instead of him being called Luke Skywalker, he could be Luke Lars. That sounds silly, but they named him Luke, and they gave him a different last name. They adopt him. Okay, I know that the Papa Lars married Anakin's mother, but that does not make Anakin blood related to the Lars. And what difference does it make, especially since they're hiding the baby? So why not just give the baby to the Lars, and then the Lars name him Luke, have some significance with that name as well. Then later in Star Wars, or The Empire Strikes Back, when it's revealed that he's a Skywalker, then he becomes Luke Skywalker.
Am I thinking too deep about this?
Well, that's Revenge of the Sith. I really don't like the messages that the dark side is stronger, but I did enjoy the movie. It had a lot of emotional weight, and it was very action-packed. Well, that was Revenge of the Sith. Hey, they're starting to get better! Yay! Well, what is number 6 on my list? You'll find out on the next episode of Star Wars Obsessed Watching. I didn't collect anything from Revenge of the Sith, and I got these recently because I thought, why don't I get a younger version of Ben Kenobi and a younger version of Anakin Skywalker? They were pretty cheap at Book Off, so I just decided, why not? And I had gotten these a few years ago because, hello, Luke and Leia as babies, gotta have them. Thank you for watching Star Wars Obsessed Watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. If you want to be notified to upcoming videos, click on that bell icon. I try to get these episodes out every Sunday at about 5 o'clock. That is my goal. Well, I'm going to have to take a break because I'm going to Japan. So for 2 Sundays, I won't be able to continue my list of Star Wars movies from worst to best. But when I get back from Japan, I will totally continue with my list. Thanks again, and until next time.